It's Week 17 of the NFL, and we'll see Chris Godwin. He's been a production machine with a 1,200-yard season thus far. It's the Bucs and the Vikings, next on Madden Football.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, CD, you look at the Bucs in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. Taken at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Throwing to start the drive. McAllister. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
On 1st and 10, McAllister. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Back to throw again. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. And his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And, Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 19 carries, 79 yards.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but he certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have a Bucs first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. The Buccaneers at 8-7, a game over 500 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second and 1. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells the offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Cook will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers. So, partner, was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Fields it right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series.
And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
To throw on third down, McAllister. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run on first down with Jackson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, McAllister. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Clifford. Ooh, the juke. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to throw. McAllister. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Off the play fake. McAllister. That's caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a handoff inside. It's Jackson. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. Clifford. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On the give, here comes Jackson. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. On second down now, Peoples. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now third and goal. Looking to throw. McAllister looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We can ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run again with Jackson. He'll take this to the 46. On second down, this is Jackson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, McAllister. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McAllister. Incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, McAllister. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 35. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, this is great work by a quarterback here. He's doing anything he can to avoid taking a square hit. I admire the way he worked his way through the initial contact and then continued downfield for good yardage.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll try the middle with Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it fourth down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. McAllister to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. To throw on 2nd down. McAllister, middle of the field to Jefferson. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. On the draw, here's Jackson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Up the middle they go. Clifford, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard to the 39. On 3rd down, McAllister. And incomplete on the deep ball.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. They'll look to set up his blockers. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Second down, another carry for Jackson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. McAllister. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the gun on 3rd down, McAllister.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to have the first down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he will have a Vikings first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now for the point after. And it's up and good. That pushes the lead now to 15-7. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And the Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This one taken in by Otten. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Cook up the gut. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one, but incomplete. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the lead slims to 5 now at 15-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. On 3rd and 2, McAllister. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give. It's Jackson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. McAllister. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Throwing on 1st down. McAllister looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Operating from the gun, McAllister. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This a 31-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. Shifts past him at the 45. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Dalvin Cook, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bucs have cut the lead back down to 2. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start here with Jackson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
They run with Jackson out of the gun, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a handoff up the middle. Clifford found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. To throw on 3rd down. McAllister.
Open man is Ayuk, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Going over reliable there in the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. McAllister.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now they go screen, it's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. McAllister,
complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Here's Jackson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run again with Jackson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
On 1st down, McAllister. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. On the ground, this is Jackson. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Back to throw. McAllister. And this is going to be incomplete.
Twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table. What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating 2nd and long.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
They're going to look to throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9.
They'll set up a throw.
Going across the formation, there's Otten with it.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
On 1st and 10, McAllister. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. McAllister. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and ball. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on 1st down, McAllister. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Now a handoff inside. It's Jackson. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. From the gun on 3rd down, McAllister. And that is incomplete.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
They'll boot it away from about his 35. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll drop to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Off play action. McAllister. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. McAllister. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So now the Bucs down 21-18, 2:24 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Duvernay. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Right back to Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be fourth down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
A big one coming now for the kicker, Zane Gonzalez. This to potentially send us to overtime. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
And out now come the Vikings. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Second and 4. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out.
And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down. Complete right side to Otten.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Up the middle they go. Clifford. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate. But a nice carry. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
On 1st down, McAllister.
Throw left side, taken in by Claypool.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Clifford.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 87 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They'll run again with Jackson. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, McAllister. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.
Yeah, I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes as well.
So for Minnesota, they moved to 7-9 on the year with the win.